Imagine standing in the shadow of a true bodybuilding titan, a man whose physique encapsulated the essence of the golden age of bodybuilding. Jusup Wilkosz, a towering figure from Germany, not only competed alongside legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but also became one of the most formidable athletes of his time. His granite-like arms, fortress-like chest, and towering biceps made him an icon in a sport that celebrated raw strength and aesthetic mastery. Despite his incredible achievements, Wilkosz's journey was filled with both triumph and tragedy, a tale of resilience and passion. Today, we'll take a deep dive into the life of Jusup Wilkosz, a forgotten aesthetic giant who embodied the perfect bodybuilding physique.
I would say the perfect physique is one that has really great proportions where everything matches. No one thing stands out. It all blends together. And everything is very well defined, a lot of definition.
Early life and weightlifting beginnings. Born in Heilbronn, Germany on November 8, 1948, Jusup Wilkosz was introduced to the world of athletics at a young age. He began weightlifting at the age of 16 in 1965, a sport in which he would soon excel. His early prowess in weightlifting earned him numerous accolades, particularly in the youth and juniors categories, where he claimed several powerlifting titles. His consistent performances earned him honors from the Federal Minister of Dollinger in Bayreuth 3 times, marking him as one of Germany's most promising athletes in his youth.
I think a lot of people kind of recognized him because of that beard. How many guys in bodybuilding had a beard back in the 70s? No one, He kind of looked like a Hercules, And a lot of people relate to him. He wasn't the biggest guy. He always got really ripped, and he had that just really chiseled look. You could tell he had a great work ethic.
But Jusup's ambitions would take him beyond the realm of powerlifting. In the mid-1970s, he began to focus on bodybuilding, a sport that combined his love for strength with his desire for an aesthetically pleasing physique. It wasn't long before Jusup began to make waves on the international stage. In 1978, he competed in his first bodybuilding competition, placing second at the World Cup behind Mike Mentzer. His success marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life as he ventured into the world of bodybuilding, where he would go on to cement his legacy. Friendship with Arnold Schwarzenegger. A pivotal moment in Wilkosz's career came when he met and began training with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the late 1970s. Arnold, then a rising star in the bodybuilding world, had a significant influence on Jusup's training and approach to the sport. The two became friends, and their camaraderie helped Jusup push himself to new heights in his career. He embraced the training philosophies of the 1970s, focusing on upper body mass, particularly the chest and arms, which were considered the hallmark of a strong and manly physique during that era. Arnold's influence on Jusup was not only seen in the gym, but also in how Jusup presented himself on stage. Much like his famous friend, Wilkosz would adopt bold, sweeping poses to emphasize his powerful upper body. These poses harken back to a time when strength and combat were revered, and Jusup's stage presence embodied that ancient warrior spirit. Competitive wins and career highlights. Jusup's career was filled with impressive victories and notable performances. In 1979, just a year after placing second at the World Cup, Wilkosz won the German Bodybuilding Championships and the World Amateur Championships, solidifying his place as one of the best bodybuilders in the world. He would go on to win the prestigious Mr. Universe title in the same year, earning international recognition. His most famous appearance came at the Mr. Olympia competition, where he competed multiple times throughout the 1980s. His highest placing came in 1984, when he finished third, a significant achievement given the level of competition at the time. Other notable finishes included 6th place in 1981 and 1983. Despite these strong showings, Jusup's career was often hampered by injuries, which prevented him from reaching his full potential. Jusup's list of accomplishments includes over a dozen bodybuilding titles, with victories stretching from 1979 to 1986. Body measurements and lifting stats. Standing at 6'1" and weighing around 220 pounds during his competitive years, Jusup Wilkosz was the epitome of classic bodybuilding aesthetics. His measurements were impressive even by today's standards, with his massive 21-inch arms often being the focus of attention. These colossal arms were a source of pride for Wilkosz, and they symbolized his dedication to the sport. Measurements played a significant role in bodybuilding during the 1970s and 1980s. Unlike today's sport, where the subjective nature of judging dominates, measurements were a concrete way to establish dominance. Arnold Schwarzenegger, for instance, was famous for his 22-inch arms, and Wilkosz's 21-inch biceps placed him among the best in the sport. Jusup often shared his measurements with the public through bodybuilding magazines like Muscle and Fitness, reinforcing his position as one of the top athletes in the sport. Training approach and signature exercise. Jusup Wilkosz's training philosophy was deeply rooted in traditional bodybuilding methods, focusing on heavy compound movements to build mass. He emphasized exercises like bench presses, barbell curls, and military presses to sculpt his powerful upper body. One of the most unique aspects of Jusup's training was his use of a little-known exercise called the incline tricep pushdown, which he famously popularized. This exercise, which is now often referred to as the Wilkosz pushdown, isolates the triceps by keeping the upper body immobile, allowing for maximum contraction. For nearly 4 decades, Jusup relied on this exercise to build his massive triceps, a testament to its effectiveness. While it remains relatively unknown in mainstream gyms, it became a secret weapon for Wilkosz, and he was proud to share it with his clients and fans. Personal life and tragedy. Though Jusup enjoyed a successful career on stage, his personal life was marred by tragedy. In the 1980s, he married and appeared to be content with both his career and his personal life. However, in 1989, his wife fell ill and passed away, leaving Jusup devastated. This loss was followed by financial difficulties, which led him to lose his business and home. With no other options, he moved in with his sister, disappearing from the bodybuilding scene for several years. This period of hardship took a toll on Wilkosz, both physically and mentally. He struggled to overcome his grief and faced numerous setbacks as he attempted to rebuild his life. Despite these challenges, Jusup's love for bodybuilding never faltered. Later, life and legacy. In the mid-1990s, Jusup attempted a comeback, setting his sights on the Mr. Olympia Masters competition in 1994. Unfortunately, yet another injury forced him to withdraw from the competition, putting an end to his hopes of a full return to competitive bodybuilding. Nevertheless, he remained active in the sport, training 6 to 7 days a week well into his later years. In 2007, a semi-fictional novel translating to what remains, The Journey of Jusup W., was published in Germany, chronicling his life and career. The book took readers back to the golden age of bodybuilding, highlighting Jusup's journey alongside the greats of the sport. The book's success later led to its release in English, further cementing Wilkosz's legacy as a bodybuilding icon. Even after his passing in 2019, Jusup's impact on bodybuilding remains significant. His famous saying, "I want to be buried with my muscles," reflects his lifelong dedication to the sport, a passion that never wavered despite the obstacles he faced. To this day, Jusup Wilkosz is remembered as one of the greatest bodybuilders Germany has ever produced, and his legacy continues to inspire new generations of athletes. Arnold, who was good friends with Jusup, commented on his passing by saying, "Today my friend Jusup Wilkosz, one of the great German bodybuilders, passed away. He was a champion and I'll miss him. My thoughts and prayers are with his family and all of his fans. Jusup might have left us, but his legacy lives on."